Cape Horn and its awesome force have commanded the respect of sailors for centuries. In the past 21 years and 120,000 miles of ocean sailing, I've never seen anything like the conditions off the tip of South America. For the past 10 years, I've been planning and preparing to sail to Cape Horn. I'm John Neal, and I'd like to invite you to join me and Amanda Swan aboard Mahina Tiari, my Hallberg-Rassy 42-foot sailboat, for the ultimate adventure, sailing to Cape Horn. There's several sailing routes to get to Chile. We sailed from New Zealand to Tahiti and then to Puerto Montt, Chile. Most yachts come through the Panama Canal or down the coast of Mexico to the Galapagos Islands and then choose to make landfall either in Valdivia or Puerto Montt on the coast of Chile. The three places on the Pacific coast of Chile that yachts choose to make landfall, Valparaiso, Valdivia, and Puerto Montt, are each ports of entry. Puerto Montt is the place that we chose because it's at the start of Chile's famous Inside Passage. We would be able to sail in this protected waterway from Puerto Montt all the way to Cape Horn, only going out of the Pacific Ocean once, around the Gulf of Peñas. "32.5 days and 4,300 miles after departing Tahiti, we made landfall at Canal Chacao. The first land we saw was the northern end of Chiloé Island. Canal Chacao is about 70 miles long on the way to Puerto Montt. This area has 21-foot tide, so the canal has currents up to 7 knots. It's essential to make landfall right at slack water. After a day of sailing, we approached Puerto Montt in the late afternoon. We knew that there was a brand new marina and we contacted them on VHF radio. One of the marina people came out to us and told us that they had already arranged for customs, immigration, and agriculture to meet us at the dock. So we just motored right in and tied up to the dock at Marina del Sur in Puerto Montt. When you arrive in a new country, there are formalities that have to be done before anything else happens. Health, customs, immigration, agriculture, port control. In this case, all met us at the marina. Lots of countries, you have to spend a day or two going around to different offices clearing in. Boat priorities are next. Repairs, ordering parts for anything that broke on the passage, cleaning, laundry, fuel and water, weather planning for your departure for the next part of your voyage, provisioning, and learning as much as you can about the local cruising area are the next priority. We started out by taking care of the laundry, and after 32.5 days at sea, we had lots of laundry to take care of. It seems that everything in the boat was salty and a bit crusty. Fortunately, there's no shortage of water here in Puerto Montt. Taking care of fueling wasn't so simple. We tied alongside a fishing boat at a fish processing plant and fueled up while the boats were bobbing around. Once you've taken care of the boat, personal things come next. Communications, calling home for messages, resting after an ocean passage, and exploring and getting away from the boat is the next priority. We were able to go up to a resort high in the Andes Mountains on a lake and really enjoy the countryside of Chile. Walking into Puerto Montt from the marina was a real different experience. This country and these places were so much different than the South Pacific where I spent the last 21 years. The Armada of Chile is right in the middle of Puerto Montt Harbor, and they really are important. We had to apply for permission to cruise the inside waters of Chile, and it takes 3 days for that permission to arrive from Valparaiso. Maybe the Navy designed this 3-day wait so that you could have time, plenty of time for shopping. The Manta started right from the Navy office, and the rest of the way into town there were lots of sidewalk vendors, artists, little shops selling copper, hand-knitted items, hand wood carvings. Volcano Osorno dominates the Puerto Montt landscape. On a sunny day, it seems like half the town comes out and is in the sidewalk park along the harbor front. The public market in the center of town is a real mixture of sights and smells. This area is very famous for its shellfish, and so there's shellfish of all kinds here, and they give you samples to make sure that it's really fresh. There's also a great selection of fruits and vegetables from the surrounding farms. Everything is just the freshest possible. Preparing for a voyage to a place like Chile is a process that takes more than 6 months. In fact, it takes most cruisers a couple years to gather the charts, the weather information, pull their mast, replace the rigging, check the rudder and steering, add additional sails, rebuild the winches, repack the life raft, add additional anchors. We replaced 240 feet of chain just before taking off, rebuilt the engine, spares for everything on board, replaced the batteries just before leaving New Zealand, added a forced air furnace, added lots of warm clothing, and just provisioning the boat took several months in New Zealand and Tahiti. You'll want to make sure that you've had a medical and dental checkup just before departing, and having someone back home that can handle communications and finance for you really makes cruising a lot more trouble-free. From Puerto Montt, we sailed south across the Gulf of Ancud down to Chiloé Island. Chiloé is a long island that has lots of protected and safe anchorages, and we were really looking forward to exploring them. Machuque was one of our first anchorages. It's an old village, over 100 years old, built on stilts. Very few cruising boats come